Shubham, hi, how are you? And
Hi,
where
good
are you?
evening. I'm good.
Which part of Maharashtra are you?
I'm in Jalna city at the moment. I've been here for the last two
Okay.
days, spending my time around in and around the city to sort of gauge what the mood is because Marathwada, besides of course the drought and the water scarcity problem that it is known for, in the last 1 year or so, it's become a very politically active place because one aspect of the state's politics is being controlled effectively one way or the other from this district. So I'm in Jalna city for the last 2 days. Yeah,
Okay. So, Shubham, we spoke about Jarange Patil, and we spoke about how Manoj Jarange Patil, the campaigner for Maratha Reservation, how he's trying to be part not of the political system or electoral system, but he's trying to ensure that he uses the electoral system to ensure that he gets what he is demanding for, which is reservation for the Marathas. Now, you spoke to him extensively. You had an exclusive interview with him yesterday. Of course, that's going to be up in the channel very soon, and also a lot of people that you've spoken to in. Jalna. That will happen very soon. But I want to ask you, what was it? How was it talking to Manoj Jarange Patil? What exactly does he have in mind? And what kind of clout does he have amongst Marathas and in Maharashtra polls?
right. So my first day itself in Jalna was spent in traveling to Antarvali Sarati. Now, just to sort of put it in context, Antarvali Sarati is about 40 to 45 kilometers away from Jalna city, the main city. It's about 45 kilometers away from there. It's a small village, uh, a few thousands of people as their population. That is where Jarange Patil's home is, and that's where he's been leading the Maratha agitation from. That's where it began back in August 2023 when a protest was carried out and the subsequent lathi charge by the police on protesters really took another turn as far as the Maratha agitation was concerned. So it goes as far back as that, September 2023. We are in October 2020. Sorry, am I audible?
Yeah, now you are. We lost you for a second. Sorry. Please go
Yeah.
ahead.
Yes. Yes, I went to Antarvali Sarati and I happened to speak to Manoj Jarange Patil. He gave us a good 10-15 minutes to sort of understand what he's planning to do, what is his next step. Because on Sunday, day before yesterday, is when he announced that he himself will not be contesting the elections, but he said that we will be putting up candidates in constituencies, which we will figure out in the coming days. But the goal is very simple. At the heart of it is to ensure that Marathas get reservation in education and jobs, so their primary demand of this movement. At the same time, we will ensure that our voices are heard through the electoral process. If once we have people of our choice, people of who have backing of the community in the Vidhan Sabha, that is one way of ensuring that Marathas get what they are asking for. So when I sat and asked him about how he plans to do it, what are the seats that he's going to contest, because remember, Marathas, again, the Marathas are the most dominant community as far as Maharashtra is concerned. They consist about 30 to 33% of the state's population, and politically too, they are among the influential sort of community as far as the state is concerned. The current chief minister, Eknath Shinde, is from the Maratha community. The demand for Maratha reservation, it was Eknath Shinde who was really at the forefront because the community said, and people I spoke to as well in Antarvali Sarati said that look, there's a Maratha chief minister, so it is up to him now. He occupies the chair, and he has to ensure that Marathas get the reservation that they are asking for. So Manoj Jarange Patil was clear that he's not going to contest elections. He did not specify the number of seats that he's going to put up candidates in, and where are those candidates, who are those candidates. Rather, he said that process will take another 3 to 4 days, and in the next few days, our list of candidates should be up. In fact, when I reached Antarvali Sarati, there was a big string of people from all parts of the state who had sort of descended onto Antarvali Sarati to meet Manoj Jarange Patil and sort of put their point across, say that I have support in this constituency. These many voters back me roughly, and Manoj Jarange Patil was clear that over the next few days I will scrutinize each of these applications carefully, and we will ensure that candidates that we put up in constituencies across the state win, and also ensure that the candidates are those that agree to the demand of Maratha reservation. And another aspect that I really touched upon during the course of the interview with Manoj Jarange Patil was the fact that his criticism of Deputy Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis has been stinging. Like the Lati charge I referred to, it was since then that Manoj Jarange Patil really went all guns blazing as far as the Manoj Jarange Patil is concerned, and Devendra Fadnavis was concerned. He went criticized him, saying that he was the one who was against granting reservation to the Marathas. Venki, I will come to your question in a minute. I'll just finish to my train of thought before I take your question, which is, I think, a very valid question to ask given the circumstances we are in. So he was stinging his criticism of Deputy Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis. He said that he is trying to create a wedge between the Marathas and the OBCs. Now, remember, when the Marathas had asked for reservation, they are saying that you recognize us as Kunbis and include us in the OBC category. Now, the OBC community has, of course, said that their reservation is at the risk of being diluted if the Marathas' demands are being are catered to. So just a few kilometers away from Antarwali Sarati, there is a small village called Wadi Godri. That is where Lakshman Hake and Navnath Wagmare, two leaders two OBC leaders who also had protests beginning June this year. And he said that, look, my Jarange Patil, that is, he said that, look, my demand is to ensure that Marathas get the reservation, and the government has not been granting us our wish is something that we've been pushing for, especially the likes of Devendra Fadnavis, who's just out there to finish the Marathas. Those are the words he used against the Deputy Chief Minister, that was Manoj Jarange Patil, and he said that the way to sort of teach them a lesson. This is if I'm because at the interview is in Marathi, so I'm just sort of paraphrasing it in a simpler way of what he said, that the one way of teaching them a lesson is to ensure that our candidates stand. Now, what it really comes down to essentially is that who does it benefit? Does it benefit the BJP, or does it benefit the MVA? Because by the looks of it, in the Lok Sabha, we got a glimpse of what a Maratha consolidation can do, and in the Lok Sabha, by all means, it was the BJP who was at the receiving end of the anger against the anger of the Marathas, where top leaders of the BJP, like Rao Sahib Danve, a member of parliament from this very constituency, that is Jalna constituency. Of course, the parliamentary constituency is much bigger. It has about 6 assembly segments. So Rao Sahib Danve lost in Jalna. Pankaja Munde lost in Bid to Bajrang Sonawne of the NCP led by Sharad Pawar. So, and it was widely seen as something that the Maratha consolidation, what we talk about, and Jarange Patil being the driving force for that. And it was that the Jarange effect, the Jarange factor, as everyone called it here, the Jarange factor was something that ensured, in Marathwada at least, because out of the 8 seats, MVA won 7 of them, and the Mahayuti won just 1, and that was the seat of Aurangabad, which is neighboring Jalna. Aurangabad, Sandipan Bhumre of the Shiv Sena won that seat. So, keeping that aspect in mind, the fact that Marathas do matter as far as the vote in Maharashtra and in this region is concerned. Now, if you come to the Vidhan Sabha, there are 46 assembly segments in Marathwada as a whole, Jalna constituency being one of them. So Jarange and, in fact, a lot of his supporters who I spoke to were very optimistic about the fact that, look, if there's no problem in fighting an election, that's a democratic right. If we feel we want to fight an election, we will fight an election. And Jarange Patil says he will not contest on his own. He said we many people in Antarvali Sarati, it's village. He said that that's good, and we whoever Jarange Patil tells us to vote for, we will vote. So there is a certain grip that Manoj Jarange Patil has over the Maratha community, and even in fact in Jalna city, I came across several people who are supporters of Manoj Jarange Patil who are very clear of the fact that look, BJP is a party which is not in our favor, who does not grant the reservation we want. So the follow-up question which I asked Jarange Patil too is, you have been seen as someone who's going soft on Eknath Shinde because he's a Maratha leader. Remember, Eknath Shinde, out of the three leaders of the Mahayuti, Devendra Fadnavis, Eknath Shinde, and Ajit Pawar, it's been Eknath Shinde who's been engaging with Manoj Jarange Patil. He has engaged with him multiple times in the past. The CM had come to Antarvali Sarati. If I get the time correct, last year, late last year, he had come to Antarvali Sarati to end the fast of Manoj Jarange Patil, and he swore by Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, saying that we will give you the reservation. Then Manoj
So
Jarange
the
Patil
point
came.
is, so Shubham,
Yes,
the point, therefore, answering Venki's question, what he just asked us is that
yes,
A,
I
I
was coming
think
to that. Yeah.
Venki, most of the political parties take him seriously. There is no question about it. In fact, all political parties, all main political parties do take him seriously. But the point is whether they can deliver what he wants. That's a question that that's a big question mark. I don't know which political party can actually deliver everything that he's asking for. So that's the point number one. Point number two, I think, is he indirectly advocating for MBA? Not really. He's against the Bharatiya Janata Party. That is something that he is very vocal about. But that actually doesn't translate to him supporting MBA, because he has equally good relations with even Shinde faction of Shiva Sena. I mean, the Shiva Sena, which is headed by Shinde. He is fairly decent relationship with him. Isn't that correct, Shubham?
Yeah, like I was saying, it was Eknath Shinde who engaged the most with the Maratha community, and several people we spoke to in Antarvali Sarati said that, look, we had hopes from Eknath Shinde that he will grant us reservation, being from the Maratha community himself. And some, in fact, one of them even said that, somewhere down the line, Eknath Shinde wants us to give that reservation. But it is the likes of Fadnavis who are acting as an impediment and ensuring that our demands aren't met. So somewhere down the line, what is being seen is that on as far as Jarange Patil is concerned, his target seems to be the BJP. The criticism of Jarange Patil, the criticism of Devendra Fadnavis by Jarange Patil is stinging in nature. But when it comes to Fadnavis, he's a leader from the community itself. Now, is he advocating, like Srees also pointed out, in Lok Sabha? It just so happened that the consolidation was such that the BJP had to bear the brunt of it. Remember, just one seat is what the MVA won, so the Mahayuti won. My apologies, only one seat, the Mahayuti won, and that too not of the BJP, that was of the Shinde faction of the Shiv Sena, that was in Aurangabad. So that is something that is interesting. And when it comes to the Vidhan Sabha, I think the tricky part here will be the fact that if he ends up fielding a candidate in some constituencies, say in and around in Marathwada, say a Jalna, say a Beed, what essentially happens is the margin. So the total number of Vidhan Sabha assembly segment is far smaller in size compared to a Lok Sabha segment. About, I think, Jalna Assembly constituency, the constituency where I am right now, that constituency is about 3.3 lakh voters in all. So, but for a Vidhan Sabha, anywhere between 2 to 6, 7 lakh votes is there for an assembly constituency on an average, typically. What happens is, say, if there are two candidates, and I will come to the Jalna, I'm so sure Sujit will come to that, Jalna city, because there's a different picture on around here. If the margin, if more candidates are fielded and the votes are distributed amongst them, the winning margin then becomes equally narrow. That's just how the first past the post system works. That's how our electoral system works. So, if, for example, if he fields a candidate in Jalna, the assembly constituency, uh, primarily there are two players here. what if Jarange endorses that particular candidate and the Marathas who have been voting so far for, say, one of the two candidates that are in the fray already? What happens then if the Marathas then say even a small chunk of that vote section goes to the Maratha backed candidate of Jarange Patil? So that is something that will be really interesting to see. So just to sum it up, I know I've spoken for long. Uh, it is it's a very much a factor as far as Marathwada is concerned. Manoj Jarange Patil, the man, the movement that he's leading, his supporters, their demands, it is very much a factor. How much of it translates electorally and who does it benefit? In the Lok Sabha, we saw that it worked for the MBA. I don't think I think it'll be very premature to call who it will benefit really in the Vidhan Sabha. But largely, that is what the picture in Antarvali Sarati and Manoj Jarange Patil looks like, Sujit.
So, end of the day, what is Jarange Patil's strategy, Shubham? What is he trying to do? I heard he's making 10 people stand in one constituency. What exactly is the strategy?
So I asked him that look, in a way, are you then, because now that you have decided to enter politics, not you directly, of course, there are people who will be backed by you who will enter the electoral fray. He said, look, this is not about a political party. At the core of it is the Maratha reservation demand. Yes, the point that you talked about, Sujit, there are hundreds of people from across the state. Sunday was when he made the big announcement that we will field some and we will support some candidates in some constituencies and we'll make the decision. Monday is when I met, that is yesterday, that is when I met Manoj Jarange Patil, and already within 24 hours you had uh, people, former MLAs, former corporators, karyakartas, party workers from different sections of the society coming from Nagpur, Nashik, Hingoli, different parts of the state, and they're all there speaking to Jarange Patil, explaining their stance that look, we think we have the support of a constituency, and I'm confident, or that particular candidate says that he's confident, he or she is confident that we will be able to win an election uh, for for with your support. So that is something that he's, and there are he hasn't made a final call because I asked him that what exactly is the strategy at play here, because effectively if say five candidates are being planned, that is again if sources are to be believed, and that is what the game plan is, that you field five candidates, and because what that would mean is it will send all the other parties, so MBA, Mahayuti, into a huddle to sort of understand how do they rework their strategy, how do they work their sort of cast equations on ground. Once that happens, who does it benefit? What does Jarange Patil do? Does he withdraw four of them? So there's a lot of ambiguity on that. He's just taking one step at a time, meeting people, and then sort of taking a decision where he wants to field. But in strongholds where he decides to field his candidates, the local leaders of whichever political party will be looking at it very closely. So if a candidate is fielded in Jalna, both Kailash Gorantial and Arjun Khotkar, Congress and Shiv Sena of Shinde, will look at it very closely, because that would mean rejigging of their original vote bank. And even if 5,000, 10,000, 12,000 votes go here and there, we are looking at an entirely different picture. So a lot of ifs and buts, but it remains to be seen how he actually translates. That is how Jarange Patil really translates this into his own strategy, where even if he fields one candidate, forget five, even if he fields one of them, what sort of an impact do they make electorally? So it is. He said, because I asked him point blank, if I'm not mistaken, I asked him point blank that does it, are you indirectly then helping the Mahavikas Aghadi? He said, no, we are not concerned about this, we are not concerned about that. I'm concerned about my reservation, and I want to ensure that people I back who back the reservation demand are sent to the Vidhan Sabha so that they can raise our voice, which the sitting people, the sitting MLAs, MPs, ministers are not doing. So it's a wait and watch situation, because he's expected to meet more people in the coming days. I just have a list of the people he'll be meeting day after tomorrow: Bid, Latur, Nanded, Nagpur. Each you is some of from all parts of the state, and then take a call based on how that mathematics in each constituency would work, Sujit. But it'll be interesting to see how it plays out, particularly in Marathwada and a portion of Western Maharashtra. That'll be very interesting to see how it plays out electorally, Sujit, as we get, of course, closer to voting date.
My last question on this count, Shubham, is Jarange Patil another Arvind Kejriwal, an activist who will transform himself into a politician later on and try to become the chief minister, prime minister, and all of that? Is that what you see in Jarange Patil, or he is going to remain an activist kind of forever?
I think what I can say with a certain amount of confidence, again, that is based on the little bit of fieldwork that I was able to do over the last 2 days, was the fact that he is very much actively involved, like an active stakeholder as far as Maharashtra politics is concerned. I'm not sure what kind of role would he take personally if he really has those ambitions of a chief minister, because that would really mean a lot of resources and, of course, seats and MLAs to ensure that, and then aligning with again the same Kejriwal trajectory. I'm not sure if that is really his game plan because there's again no evidence that I came across to prove that. But definitely, it is becoming extremely clear that when it comes to Marathwada, when it comes to parts of Maharashtra where the Marathas are in large number, where Jarange Patil has a following of his own, he will call the shots when it comes to the Maratha community, and that is something that we have seen change from 2019 to 2024 in the interim 5 years. We have seen one activist become a major stakeholder in Maharashtra politics, and that is again the result of which we are seeing on the ground is the caste divide between the Marathas and the OBCs.
Okay. Now, like I asked Shashank, Shubham, you are in Marathwada. Shashank is in Western Maharashtra. We spoke about Western Maharashtra and how Western Maharashtra is looking currently. Now, I want to ask you, how is Marathwada looking currently, especially Jalna, from where you straight Jalna and villages nearby? How does it look? Which side are they kind of going towards? The MVA or the
Oh,
Mahayuti?
so some of the surveys that, in fact, I came across online as well, and so some of the locals I spoke to, they said Jalna will be in favor of MVA. That's again some surveys that pointed out. One was done by the Maharashtra Analytica, if I'm not mistaken, and they said Jalna is with MVA. But the interesting part that I came across when it comes to Jalna city, the assembly constituency where I am right now, um, this constituency has an interesting story. 1995 was when a man called Arjun Khotkar became an MLA from the Shiv Sena. 1999 is when Arjun Khotkar became an MLA again. And since 1999 to 2019, there is that's what more than 2 decades. There have just been two players going back and forth. So it is Arjun Khotkar and of the Shiv Sena, who's currently with Eknath Shinde, and there is Kailash Gorantial, Kailash Seth as he's called here because he comes from a business family. He's from the Congress. From 1999 to 2019, it has just been Arjun Khotkar, Kailash Gorantial, Arjun Khotkar, Kailash Gorantial. So that has been the story so far. So, which is what my question was to some of the people in Jalna, that which way would you go? So some of the responses I got was, of course, one of the two candidates. Some said we want to see Eknath Shinde as Mukhyamantri. That's thanks to Ladki Bahin, which was also one of my major talking points with a lot of women out here. But some of them said that look, we are tired. As some said this off camera as well. That to be extremely honest, that we are tired of both of them now. We have seen them enough, and the Khotkar Gorantial rivalry apparently dates back to the 80s, the university politics, and now it is at the state level. So they said we are looking for a third option, and Kamit the man, Jarange Patil, if he has, and of course those are people who are active followers. They said Jarange Patil, let him give us a third option, and we will ensure that let's give the third option a chance because we've seen what both these guys had to offer to the table, what they had to bring to the table, and that a certain section of people I met in the city were also of that opinion that Jarange Patil factor will be here. So that is, in fact, one more point before you come in, Sujit. A local gave me like a very interesting insight on how this works. He's a local journalist. In a way, he explained it very simply that the new Jalna sort of area, in fact, where I am also sitting at the moment, and this area that source told me that it's a Kailash Gorantial stronghold. As you go deeper into the villages and old Jalna, you will start hearing Arjun Khotkar's name a lot. So that is the divide that is there as far as Jalna is concerned. Kailash Gorantial comes from a business family. Kailash Seth, like I said, he is known here. He's known for helping a lot of villages, some of the people who come from nearby villages to the city for work and for other purposes. They said that look, he has helped us build a water pipeline in our villages, ensured we get electricity. Some said that look, Arjun Khotkar is someone that has been in the state's politics for quite some time, and we have the Jalna as an assembly constituency does not have a tradition since 1999 to repeat an MLA. So some even just said that just for change, because we don't follow that pattern, let's bring back Arjun Khotkar in 2024. Although just a rider to our viewers that at the moment it's not clear who is getting that seat. Congress at the moment hasn't disclosed who their candidate will be. In the BJP's first list, Jalna doesn't feature. So it's still out there. But again, when it comes to local politics, there are two major parties and two major candidates who are in the fray. So Kailash
So
Gorantial, in fact, some said
it is primarily at the moment BJP versus Congress. Very interesting.
Shiv Sena versus Congress. Arjun Khotkar is of the Shiv Sena, led by Eknath Shinde.
Shiv Sena versus Congress. My apologies. Shiv Sena versus
Yes,
Congress, and
that has been the case since
broadly,
1999. No MLA has
yeah.
been repeated.
Tell me, how is Maji Ladki Bahin, Mukhyamantri Maji Ladki Bahin taken? I mean, how are people responding
So
to it?
it is. I spoke to a lot of women of all age groups, sort of on and off camera, to sort of understand. It has worked. They said we've got the money. We've some said I've got 1,500. Some said I've got 7,500. That's for the 3 months. And it is the credit of that has been attributed to the chief minister himself. That it is Mukhyamantri Maji Ladki Bahin. I think in a way they're clear that Shinde Sahib has given us the money, so Shinde we will vote for Shinde. And when they say vote for Shinde, I would logically deduce it that as a vote for Arjun Khotkar. Proviso if he gets the ticket to contest from Jalna, that is. So the as far as the Ladki Bahin is concerned, but again the flip side to it is on the they said on the empowerment front, it's good. You're giving us 1,500 rupees directly into our bank account. It's very empowering. But the inflation is such that 1,500 rupee hits our bank account and that leaves our bank account in a jiffy because that's how expensive things are. The point is that we appreciate that you're giving us 1,500 rupees, but बोलते ना यहाँ काम नहीं पुरता उससे. That is how they say it in Hindi. इधर
Acha,
पुरता
काम
नहीं है
नहीं
इस
purta.
चीज
But
से.
then, Shashank, tell me, will this translate into vote?
Shubham,
So
you call me.
sorry. I'm so sorry. I was talking to Shashank all this while. Yeah. Sorry, my apologies. Shubham, I'm so sorry. But will it translate into vote?
So only a couple of them really said that uh, for because of Maji Ladki Bahin, we will cast our vote to Eknath Shinde. That is what I came across. Of course, when you speak to women, sometimes it's just the men who really overpower and say, कि हाँ हम उनको vote देंगे. The women are usually reserved on who they will cast their vote for. But that trend is also changing. But I could only come across a handful of people who said that yes, Shinde gave us money, so we will vote for Shinde. But having said that, they said that that money has come. Shinde भाई ने भेजे हैं ये पैसे. शिंदे भाऊ आणि पैसे पाठवलेले. So that is largely the sentiment because when it comes to someone like Arjun Khotkar, if the Mukhyamantri Maji Larki Bahin turns out to be quite a success, and women across the state are saying that yes, we have gotten the money. Some said that yes, we haven't gotten the money because there is some technical issue. We've gone to the bank that has not been sorted. So I met a few women who also said that, but largely the ones who got that money, only few of them really said that. Shinde gave us money, so we will give him a vote. One woman said very interestingly that look, just because you give me 1,500 rupees doesn't mean I will vote for you. Uh, to have my vote, you need to do work for me. You need to improve my living conditions in my surroundings. That was really the crux of what they said. So that is also the thinking that 1,500 rupee does not guarantee a vote. You'll have to do much more than that to ensure that we vote for you.
No, but tell me, my last question, Shubham, MBA or Mahayuti at the moment? Yeah, MBA or Mahayuti at the moment,
In Marathwada or just wherever I traveled, or how is it?
wherever you travel, wherever you travel. Like I told the audience earlier on, we'll stitch the entire reports together, and then we will draw a larger picture. But at the moment, what?
The MB, I would say, has their noses ahead slightly, but the sort of the asterisks and the terms and conditions is which way Marathas and the Jarange factor works in Marathwada, especially. So the MBA seems to have their noses ahead in the little bit of field work I was able to do and speak to people. And again, for someone like Kailash Gorantial, it's the Jalna city has a lot of Marwaris as well in the city, the markets, the ones who run their businesses, and of course who aren't willing to come on camera because always that threat looms that yaar wo dusra banda phone karke bolega, how dare you say bad things about me. So they're also clear that yeah, he has done work for us, which is the business community, and we're impressed with him. But given how the overall scenario would pan out, the NBA, I would say, has their noses ahead, depending on which way that Jarange factor works. Whether it harms that little bit of edge that MBA has is something that we'll have to sort of wait and watch, because once the candidates will be declared, if it's clear that we are we going to see another rematch of Arjun Khotkar versus Kailash Gorantial for I think what the fifth or sixth time. That is when, and by the time we'll also have clarity on whether Jarange Patil is fielding anyone from this constituency or any of the surrounding constituencies. That picture will also be clear, Sujit.
Great. So, thank you so much, Shubham. What you are essentially saying is anybody's game, and Jarange Patil is actually going to be a very important factor in deciding the final outcome. Correct? Am I summed it right?
Absolutely, absolutely. It'll one way or the other. I'm not saying that that will be the factor, but yes, it's one of the factors to keep an eye out from for and see which way the Marathas actually vote. That is something that will decide the fate of several candidates across the state of Maharashtra. Because, like I said, the more candidates that are fielded, the more the votes get distributed, the lesser is the winning margin. That is simple, the nature of our first past the post system. So that will be one of the crucial factors to watch out for. That is how I would put it.
Thank you so much, Shubham. Thank you so much. And you be
Thank
safe.
you.
You're traveling right now. You're going to travel to Nanded, right?
Yes, I'll be traveling to Nanded tonight, spend a couple of days there, and then see you in office on Saturday.
Chalo, you take care, and we will be in touch tomorrow. We will join back again, and let's talk about Nanded. You take care,
Sure.
Shubham.
Take care.
Bye
Thank you
bye.
so much. Thank you so much.